Hello and welcome to my first look at a deck for the new set. So we've played a couple of this on stream, we've messed around with it a little bit, and at the moment I'm happy where it's sitting. There could be other adjustments here and there. You could take in extra Odin, you could take out other things. But at the moment I'm quite happy with how it's running. So we'll play through a couple of games. I've been testing it, I'm still going to be testing it after this video. By no means could these games be good or bad, it's just going to be whatever we get. And it's a very unstable meta at the moment, so you guys should probably expect that a little bit. So the next week of content is going to be a little hit or miss with stuff. I still want to give you guys something every other day, so we're really going to be putting some effort in the next few days. Alright. Shadow is probably not one of the better matchups at the moment. Most people are running an aggro Shadow, which hits this sort of deck fairly hard. Because you don't really have that much to counter it early game. At least from my experience. Like I said, I've still got to do a lot more testing with this deck. And maybe adjust it here and there based on matchups. So, good to have that first drop. Getting those early cards is quite important. I will have the deck list in the description as always, so you can check that out. Alright. So the problem with most of these aggro shadows are they're running Shadow Reapers and Catacomb, which means they can pretty much recycle their followers. But this might be a bit different to see Attendant Knight. Alright. Interesting. Having that Decree is really solid. Having that in your hand is always handy, you can't really go wrong with it at the moment. Especially with the amount of dragon and blood floating around. Definitely worth having something. And there's Catacomb. Alright. So I don't really have a way around Catacomb, unfortunately. Other than banishing now, which isn't too bad actually. We can get rid of that. And we don't really need to worry too much. As long as we can keep the control up, even if they drop Shadow Reaper, we should be fine. Got the Ancient Lion, which is a huge swing. And I'm actually surprised by how good War Cyclone is. Like, it's just been quite amazing lately. And Judge of Retribution is actually a little better than I thought, mainly because this effect doesn't require an evolve, and with the meta at the moment, Banish is a really handy ability to have. So I highly recommend giving this deck a go if you're struggling. It can be hit or miss. You have got to get a little bit lucky. But hopefully as the deck slowly gets refined, and the meta kind of settles down a little bit, we'll be able to have some solid games come out. Alright, so I was thinking of maybe playing out the Ancient. Is going to cost the evolve though. I think it might be worth it. Making sure they can't Catacomb again on them. Really good. I've got plenty of other removal. The Tribunal's a great spot removal. Finally, we drew into our Argus. Aegis. I don't know, I'll just call it Argus. Anyway. Got our Decree for a good setup, and as long as we can avoid getting killed by these, we should be good. Not a big fan of getting completely demolished. So now our next biggest problem is going to be that their shadow ability is going to be insane. I really need to set up. I need to be able to block. Alright, not the best play, obviously. There were not really many other options. I needed a ward up. Because getting hit by the Foul Tempest and extra 4 damage would be, what, 9 plus the evolve is 11, leaving me on 2. And that's just not a practical situation to be left in. So, I need to be able to deal with stuff. And then I can drop Curate. Turn 8. I've got a few different options, so that's really good. And then Heavenly Argus for 9, which is pretty much a win condition. It's definitely what you're going to be aiming for. And this actually makes Decree a lot nicer. The only problem is we're still going to be taking that damage. We really don't want to be taking that. Yeah, there's not really any other option, unfortunately. I think Decreeing was the only good option. But you never know, they might not have the aggro combo, and if they do, we just have to work something else out. I've got Curate, which will heal me back up a little bit. I can't really play anything with it at this stage, which makes things a little more difficult. So we've just got to hope to get a little lucky here. If we can get a little lucky, we should be fine. Okay. A little bit of a pain. Nothing we shouldn't be able to deal with. I mean, we can drop double Tribunal, which is actually quite nice. So we'll get at least a couple things going. Really hope we can hit it. That would be ideal. So we've got a 30% chance. And we didn't hit it. Alright, so now we're actually pretty screwed. They can get 11 damage just off what's in their hand, because they have Coco and Mimi. So, I don't know what we're going to do here. I guess I've just got to kind of hope. Alright, so my best option at this point would be Kree again. This is where they struggle. This is why I don't like playing against Shadow. It's really not the best matchup. I'm at a huge disadvantage. Cyclone is no good to me. This is not good. There's nothing that can win me this game. Dropping Angel and healing is my only option for a draw. And then my only chance would be to take the hit, but I mean, alright. This is what I mean by it can be very hit or miss. This deck is quite good against other Haven. It's not too bad against Dragon. You can still lose. That's the problem with this current meta. I will give it one more shot, so this will be a slightly longer video. But hopefully you guys get the idea of the deck, which is the main thing. If you guys can refine this deck some more without making too many major alterations and just completely scrapping the deck would be good. And I know these games are not the best. I apologize for that. But I like to get a live reaction to these clips. I like to have both losses and wins so you can see the downfall of the deck along with the wins of the deck. Actually, we'll hold on to that. War Cyclone's not too bad for just a 3-drop. Especially against something like Sword that likes to have a nice early game. I haven't played against many Swords so far, so I'm not really sure how this will perform. It'll be interesting to see. Alright. The one advantage I have is Decree, because this is Ambush Sword, which is starting to take a little bit of popularity and something I'll definitely be testing in the future. We might actually have Ambush Sword as a video tomorrow if I get a bit tested enough. Alright, if we can set up a defensive, hold off, keep our health up high, and hopefully make it to turn 6 for the Decree. That's really important. Okay. Priest might be alright. I would really love an ancient line. Not an ancient line. This will at least shrink the board slightly. We've only got 2 turns before turn 6, which is kind of our swing. That's definitely what we're looking for here. Alright, so there's Rogue's Creed. I kind of expect, so that's fine. In your turn, give +1/+1 to all ambush followers. Yeah, okay, so definitely need a way to counterbalance this. Unfortunately, don't really have one. Get rid of that, which is fine. We set up some healing. We hit face and we rely on the decree next turn. I'm kind of worried because I know they can drop big things off these Rogue's Creed. Definitely a deck I want to test, so I'll have to look out for that. Don't know if I have any Rogue's Creed though, which could be a big problem because it's kind of the staple card to the deck. But with what I've got, I should have enough to deal with it. I mean, the decree is going to clear the board no matter what. If I can get the extra damage, I should be okay. Alright, so they went that way about that. Interesting. Take the board clear for now. We've got the retributions. I'm not too worried about anything else. You can also heal and draw. And we've got 2 more decrees. I knew Albert was going to be an issue, but that's fine. Curate takes care of it pretty nicely. Gives me the heal. With the evolve, I can easily trade. These are the sort of players you want. You want to be able to easily trade with their board, not have to worry too much about your health, and make sure you've got enough cards in hand to deal with stuff. Your win condition is the Heavenly, definitely. You really want that to come down. That's fine. I should be able to make it to turn 10, which is going to be my next board clear, so... And we got Ancient Line, which is perfect. Not too bad at all. Alright, Kunoichi trainee, so they're aiming for another hopefully swing with the with the Rogue's Creed. Which is actually really not that bad a card. Alright. So they're aiming to use that. Makes sense. This actually makes things a little harder for me. Because I was planning on just dealing with them with the Ancient Lion. Which I can't really do as well now. But the damage on them should be enough that the 1/3 is going to at least kill one of them off. And put them in a bad spot. Because Cyclone kills them next turn. So unless something really crazy happens, I'm pretty sure we win this. I'm trying to think what would change the game. Albert is about it. I mean, even then they're going to be 2 damage short of lethal. So Albert's really not a big help. Awesome, so that's the kind of game you want, right there. Nice, solid, wasn't much they could really do. Mind you, thought he is probably one of the weaker decks at this stage, but I'm sure once Gwen comes off, it'll be quite alright. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to check out the deck list in the description, check out the other links, and I'll catch you guys next time. Don't forget, I'm accepting clips, which you'll find in the description as well. You can send an email with your clip, and I'll be making, hopefully, a top play sort of series out of that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys next time. See you.